Luke, I've been up. I've been up since what time did I get up? Clubhouse is waiting for you now. Well, we're here, all right. I have been up since. This is getting out of control. Just so you guys all know, this is getting out of control. So I've been up since 2:50. I accidentally went to bed early last night. Went to bed at 10:30. Woke up at 2:50 this morning, and plenty of time to build out the show. Plenty of time to build out today's episode. So got up, grabbed my big cup of water, big cup of ice water. I mean, I have a big purple cup of ice water that I drink every single morning. Big old cup, right? So big old cup of ice water. It's like a big old Kool-Aid cup. Remember the big Kool-Aid cups? It's like a big Kool-Aid cup, but it's a big cup of ice water. Drink the ice water, right? I drink the ice water, and then what's cool now with TikTok is you're getting these different shots as I change the camera. Oh, you're not. You're getting the same. You're getting the same shot. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so I'll go downstairs, open my Morning 5 planner, write down my gratitude and goals. Which the quote today was cool, by the way. In the planner, there's a quote on these planners. There's a quote on top of every page. Submitted by actual members of our community, and the quote from today was a good quote. It said this: "Every day gives you a new chance to build something worth waking up for." Every day gives you a new chance to build something worth waking up for. And I thought, yeah, man, that's a great freaking quote and a great way to start the day. So did the Morning 5 planner thing. Then I wrote the show, right? I'm writing out the show. I'm like, good morning, we're going to do this and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we've got all kinds of time, so it's good. So then I come to the studio early, right? I come to the studio early. I'm like, we're going to get it on today, boy. We're going to get it on today. And so I come to the studio early. I'm like, we're going to build out an awesome production. And then as I'm like waiting for everything to load up, I pop onto TikTok, and I've got this notification over on my new TikTok channel. I've got this notification, and it says, you've been selected to be able to use desktop Creator Live with TikTok. And I'm like, desktop Creator Live? What the heck is desktop Creator Live? I got to figure out what the heck that is. So then I end up like downloading and hooking it up and so on and so forth. And I'm learning and I'm practicing. So I've been live over on TikTok for 32 minutes already. And it's connected to my desktop computer. So TikTok's now getting microphone sound, and TikTok's also getting video, one video right now, source. I'm going to figure out how to get this full production that you get on Facebook. I'm going to figure out how to get that over on TikTok. But we're not there yet, but we are at good sound from the mic, and we are at good video TikTok studio. No, not from a desktop. I've never done this before. This is a first. Absolute first time I've ever done it from desktop. I've done it from my mobile phone. I've never done it from a desktop. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm going to figure out how to get this full production over there. But we've already got 11,000 likes. Anyways, my whole point is I had all this extra time, and then I got distracted because I got excited about like a new way for us to connect with, reach more people, build the community, all those good things. And I didn't finish the full production of today's show. That's the whole point of the whole story. So let's dive in. Good morning and welcome to the #1 morning show in America. I am your host, Glenn Lundy, husband to 1, father to 9, author, speaker, and the founder of 800%.life. It's 5:30 a.m. and it's time to rise and grind. Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you, my friend? How are you, my friend? Dude, today is Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, a.k.a. CMA Day, Carter Myers Automotive Group. And today is like the ultimate CMA day because our friend Liza Myers-Borchers is coming to Kentucky today. That's right. She's coming to Lexington, Kentucky so that she can teach and pour into our teen 800% elite teen entrepreneur class. So we've got this class of high school kids. We're teaching them business. Liza's flying in so that she can teach and pour into them. How lucky are these kids that they are going to get to learn from such an incredibly successful, powerful businesswoman, dear friend of mine, a person who cares deeply for humans in a powerful way. I'm super excited for them to get to see Liza today. So Liza's coming in for the kids. That's going to be amazing, and it's on CMA Day, which is awesome. And then Adam Marburger is also coming in for the kids today. He is going to be flying in. Liza is going to give them 90 minutes or so of Miss Liza, and then they're going to get another hour or so of Mr. Adam Marburger. So big day for the 800% Elite Teen Entrepreneur class. Super, super excited. And it's an incredible CMA Day. Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. And what's crazy is today is the very first and the very last time it'll ever be Wednesday, April 8th, 2026. So I want to make sure we make the absolute most, and I do mean the absolute most of this absolutely incredible, incredible day. I'm coming to you live from Lexington, Kentucky, where we are headed into, Liza is amazing, I agree, we are headed into opening day for Keeneland. I think Keeneland opened, technically opening day, it might be today, might have been last weekend. Anyways, we are in Keeneland season here in Lexington, Kentucky. If you don't know what Keeneland is the horse track that this whole place is kind of built around. This place is built around basketball, bourbon, and horse racing. That's what makes Kentucky what it is. And 3 weeks in the spring and 3 weeks in the fall, they run horses over at a place called Keeneland. It's got a ton of historic value, and here's a quick little history clip so that you know more exactly what I'm talking about.
Keeneland's historical marker is the second oldest in the state. Only the marker at Henry Clay's Ashland is older. Both reside in Fayette County. Well before this spot was a thoroughbred horse mecca, the land here was known more for a single visitor than horse racing. In 1825, some 40 years after the end of the Revolutionary War, Marquis de Lafayette, a French volunteer who served alongside George Washington as a young man, visited John Keene, Keene having been Lafayette's aide-de-camp during the war. Lafayette's war hero tour of the expanding United States lasted nearly 4 years. The Keene family had great wealth and influence in central Kentucky. Major Keene's descendant, John Oliver Keene, became a great thoroughbred breeder and trainer in the early 20th century. In 1935, after the closing of the Lexington Association racetrack, John Oliver, known as Jack, was asked about part of his land becoming a new horse racing venue. A 146-acre parcel of land was sold at a bargain to the developers, the newly formed Keeneland Association, who built new horse racing grounds. Construction was aided by the fact the land already had barns and a modest track in place. The track opened in October of 1936, hosting over 8,000 fans for its first race. The racing meets immediately became a place to gather for socializing, wagering, and much like today, just to be seen. The nonprofit Keeneland Association would build an auction arena for thoroughbreds, and over the years, the majority of the world's greatest racehorses have been bought and sold here. Keeneland solidified Lexington as the horse capital of the world. Keeneland now covers over 1,000 acres after various expansions and upgrades to the facilities during the last 80 years. Today, the venue has a seating capacity of over 20,000 for spectators. Keeneland draws people from dozens of countries during its biggest races, especially when it hosts the Breeders' Cup, the world's richest two-day championship horse racing event.
So there you go. There's a little breakdown on Keeneland. Now you know, there's a lot of history. Yes, you are in history class. That's right, Tosh. Super important. You got to learn these things. We can't be skipping over where we came from, folks. Super important. This is a big piece. And the reason this is even a bigger piece is because we now have our own racehorse named 800, who we are training in hopes that he will be running in the Derby next May. So this is a big deal. So I'm trying to take you on the journey with me. You got to learn all the history. Now, I know that guy speaks a little bit like this, and that's not what we want first thing in the morning. Totally get it. But it's an important piece. 2 minutes. Now you know the history. Now you got the piece. And yes, I did say we have a racehorse. As a matter of fact, check him out. He's been training lately. This is his most recent breezing. This was yesterday. Check this out. Now, he has gotten so much faster. That's him on the inside track there. As you can see, he's got his legs up under him. Them suckers are moving. He's gotten so much faster. He has incredible endurance, which is what we really, really want, right? His grandfather, American Pharoah, won the Kentucky Derby. And in his bloodline, if you go back in history, the fixed ops doc, in his bloodline, if you go back in history, he comes from a long bloodline of endurance horses. So he's got endurance. We're teaching him speed, right? Like he's got a little speed in him, but he's having to learn speed. Naturally, this horse can run forever, though. If you watch the end, this is the very end of his breezing, and watch the horse. The horse's head, for those of you that are listening on the podcast, or those of you that are maybe over on TikTok, you're not getting a full production. I'll share with you. But if you watch his head towards the end, watch what he's doing as he's coming across. All right, here he is, here he is, here he is, here he is. He's running, he's running, he's running. Look at his head. He's actually looking over at Toomba. He's looking at Toomba. He's not even looking where he's going. It's such an easy run for him. At this distance, it's such an easy run that he's just like, boop, 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 boop. When you gonna challenge me? When you gonna challenge me? Which is what we love to see. We love to see this horse got what it takes to be able to go 1.25 miles, which is what he's going to need to do for the Kentucky Derby. So they're working on speed, and he's looking freaking great. All right, if you want to follow his journey, we do have an Instagram page. It's 800% Racing. That is the Instagram page. 800, the word percent is all spelled out. 800% Racing. If you want to follow over on TikTok, or I'm sorry, on Instagram, you can follow his journey. Our horse, 800. You can follow his journey all the way to the Kentucky Derby. That is our hope. That's what we're cheering for. That's what we're going to make happen. All right, there you go. Brief history. That's what's going on in Lexington, Kentucky. We've got our horse going. Come follow over on Instagram. But overall, man, it's just a wonderful time of year. It's a wonderful time of year in Kentucky. The weather is beautiful, and it's the time of year where what once was dormant, maybe buried under the ground, the leaves that made it look like the trees are dead or whatever, what once was dormant is now all starting to rise back up, right? The grass is starting to rise back up. We're out there mowing again. The bugs are starting to rise back up. The baby animals, we're starting to see them everywhere. The sun is starting to rise earlier and earlier, which is beautiful, and stay up later and later, which is even more beautiful. It's a season of new life. It's a season of transformation. Now, this is also a season where we can get we can lose sight and maybe get a little distracted by some of the important aspects of our lives that need to be addressed in order for us to become the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. And so I want to talk about that just a little bit today. Before we do, though, you know what we got to do on this show? We got to do some dancing. Now, this song is a little bit slower, but if you've been around, you'll understand why this song is important. All right? You just got to listen.
on how much you weigh.
This is another one of our brick songs. Let's go. I've got 5 different brick songs, all using just the words brick. Let's go. For those of you that know and those of you that don't know, this is the part of the show where I need you to hit that share button. That's right. I need you to hit that share button because I believe if we can change the way people start their day, it'll make a massive impact on this planet. I truly believe that. And sometimes all it takes to change the way somebody starts their day is for you, yes, you, to hit that share button. This is also the part of the show where I want to say good morning to you and I want you to say good morning to me. Whether you're watching live or you're on replay or you're on YouTube or you're on TikTok, no matter where you are, you say good morning to me and I'm going to say good morning to you. By the way, those of you on TikTok are blowing it out. I see the roses. I see the gifts. I see the 15,000 likes. Keep it going. I appreciate it. Good morning, Tosh Queen. Thank you for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. Good morning, Mike Rendine. Thanks for being in the building. I greatly appreciate it. Trisha Rue, good morning to you. Let's go, let's go. Scott Simons, good morning, Mr. Scott Simons. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Mike Larkin is in the building. Good morning, Mike Larkin. Patricia Frudenberg, good morning, Patricia. How you doing, Charlene Honey? Thanks for being here. Samantha Star Baker, Spencer Nicholson, Beth Lucchese is in the building. Bill Harrison, Dwayne Moser, thanks for being here. Sean Weatherby, what up, what up, what up? Robert Pollard over there on TikTok, thanks for being here, Robert, and for blowing it up and hitting all them likes and doing all the things. I need to collect peach hearts. I've got a live goal. It says I need another rose or something. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. The Fixed Stops Doc, thanks for being here. Ms. Fit Mom, thanks for being here. I greatly appreciate it. You've been with me all morning. Tara Hope is in the building. Luis Grafton Nones is in the building. Young Johnson is in the building. Travis Brubaker is in the building. What up, what up, what up? Yes, hit the share button. Hit those likes. And Margaret is in the building. Just engage, man. Let's go. It's like a workout. We're turning this thing into a workout. Boom. Goal achieved. Fix Op Doc just sent a rose. Let's go. Dude, we're getting wild and we're getting crazy and I love it. Soul Salcedo is in the building. Thank you, Soul Salcedo. For those of you that popped in late, just a quick little update. TikTok. We've been going live on TikTok the last couple days and I'm learning. And over on TikTok, what's up, Maria? I got a notification that we have a live thing where we can go live from my desktop. And so I'm live from the desktop, which I think is creating 2 different camera angles for the TikTok folks. And I'm learning. And at some point, I'm going to learn how to do the full production that we're doing on Facebook that's going over to TikTok. That's going to happen. But apparently on TikTok, we have some goals and games and things that we have to play. And so it creates all this spastic energy until I figure it out. And then it'll be smooth. But you're in the early days. We're on like day 3 live on TikTok. And I'm figuring stuff out every single day. Listen, speaking of figuring things out, we have a 2-day sales workshop for you for free in Lexington, Kentucky. All you got to do is get here, bro. All you got to do is get here. We have a sales workshop May 19th and 20th in Lexington, Kentucky, right here in my offices. If you want to be a part of that, just go to 800%.life/events, 800%.life/events, and you can, let's go. I see all you people hopping in on TikTok. If we go to 800%.life/events, you can come join me in Lexington, Kentucky. It's completely free 2-day sales workshop for you, for people that you lead, etc., etc., etc. Jump right in. Also, I am hiring here at 800%. This is an in-person position. I am hiring right here in our offices in Lexington, Kentucky. I need 1, maybe 2 people to help me expand my sales team. As an organization, we've gotten so big, and we want to make sure that we're serving our current clients at such a level that our performance manager team is solid. I've got the best in the business working with these dealers across the country. It's amazing, but it doesn't leave a whole lot of space for us to go out and acquire new business. right? And so I need to build out my sales team to be able to help acquire new business, since I have an amazing team that's able to retain the business that we already have. So in order for us to go to the next level, that's really what we got to focus on. I've always been the salesperson. Evan's always been the salesperson. Sam's always been the salesperson, but now I need one or two more additional people in office. Got to understand my culture. I got to be able to take the time to train you. Can't have you all over the place. If you are interested, or you know somebody that might be a great salesperson for our organization, will you tell them to please send me a video, 90 seconds or less. Send a video, 90 seconds or less, on why they would be a great addition to our team. They can send me that video through Facebook. They can send it through email, whatever. I don't want any other questions. I don't want any other resumes. I don't want anything. If they can't send a 90-second video, they're not going to be a great fit for my team anyway. So 90-second video or bust. That's how that works. All right. I see you guys blowing it up on TikTok. Let's go. All right. That's all the announcements for today. Let's dive in, because we've got 9 minutes left. All right. We got to talk about something serious here. We're in this series called Rise Up, and we've been talking about resurrection and how there's multiple pieces to resurrection, right? How resurrection it's a restoration, right? New, bringing new life. There's restoration, but then there's also the other side of it, which is death, right? You can't have a resurrection without death. You can't. Can't have a reviving unless, you can't revive somebody unless they've been unalived, and then you can revive them. And death is such an interesting thing. It's not something we want to really talk about ever as humans, but here's what I think not enough. Here's what I think we don't talk about enough. This is my opinion. You can say, Glenn, your opinion is inaccurate, and that's totally okay. I'm not here for people to agree. I'm here for us to think. That's it. But I feel like nobody talks about the fact that everybody wants a new life, but very few people are willing to let go of who they've been in order to achieve that new life. My fingers are out tapped. Look at Trisha Rue going to town over there. Everybody wants a new life, but few people are willing to let go of who they've been to get that new life. We say we want to rise. We say we want to move, or we want more. We say we want growth. We say all of those things. But yet, at the same time, we are constantly protecting our identity. We're still protecting an identity. And that identity can't go where we're trying to go. Like not every man or woman is made for every room. Does that make sense? Like there's a jockey room at Keeneland. There's a jockey room at Keeneland where the jockeys go and they change in between races and so on and so forth. And everything's set up specifically for the jockeys, right? Like if you're not a jockey, there's really no use for you being in the jockey room. And so here we are, we're like, okay, I want to be somebody new, but then we're trying to drag the old versions of ourselves with us into the new rooms. And that's the tension. That's the tension. Because resurrection is not just about doing new things. It's about literally becoming someone new. Now, there are pieces of you, and I've said this before, right? There are pieces of you that will go with you for a lifetime. We were all born, roughly, all of us born with 5 fingers and 5 toes and 2 hands and 2 arms and 2 legs, and all of that comes with us for a lifetime. But there are also pieces of us that have to die spiritually, mentally, that have to die and be left behind in order for us to become the best versions of ourselves that we can possibly be. You see, becoming someone new requires letting someone else go, and that's a hard thing for us as humans to do. So let me ask you a question real quick. Who have you been in your lifetimes? XO sent TikTok universe to Juvia. I don't know what that means, but if somebody wants to send me a universe, do it. Who have you been in your life? Have you ever been the procrastinator? Have you ever been that? Have you ever been the one who starts things but doesn't finish things? Have you ever been that? Have you ever been the one who says, hey, I'm not a morning person? Have you ever been that? Have you ever been that person? Have you ever been the one that says, well, I like to play things safe? Have you been that one? Because here's the truth. All of those things aren't facts. You can say those things about yourself, but they're not facts. Those are just simply identities. Those are the stories that you've told yourself over and over and over again until they've felt real. But you have to listen to me. If you keep repeating the same story over and over, you're going to keep reproducing the same results. Same story, same result. Same story, same result. Same story, same result. It's almost like the bricks, right? Brick, 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 brick. Same story, same result, right? That wasn't good, but you get what I'm saying, right? So if you want a new life, you don't need a new strategy first. You need a new identity. It has to shift. And I wanted to talk about this because something interesting happened for me yesterday morning. So nicotine has been a part of my life for 30 years. Now, I've never been like a crazy pack-a-day smoker or anything like that. I have smoked cigarettes for 30 years, but it's usually a small amount. And I've been able to go long periods of time. Anyways, the whole point is I decided in this new challenge, I decided that the thing that I was going to remove from my life was nicotine. And the thing that I was going to add to my life is meditation and prayer and stillness. That every time I want to take a nicotine break, instead of taking a nicotine break, I'm going to take a prayer break or a meditation break. And so this challenge just started a couple days ago. And what's interesting is yesterday morning, I was doing like a little meditation type thing. And I had picked it up from YouTube. And as I was listening to it, it said on there, go back to the trigger, right? It said, go back to the trigger, go all the way back to the triggers that cause you to want that nicotine. And so I went back to the trigger. And it took me all the way back. It was like, when did you start? And I was like, well, I started just after high school. And I was in a season of my life where I was trying to figure out my identity. And I was trying to figure out who I was. And I wanted to like stick it to my dad because my dad controlled everything to where we had to ask for a glass of water until I was 18 years old. And so I was like, I wanted to stick it to my dad, but I didn't want to do any drugs. I didn't want to stick it to him like that. And so I started like smoking cigarettes because it was like something that I could control. And it was something that I could kind of stick it to my dad. And it was something also that became like a little part of my identity. And it was also something that like allowed me to fit in with certain crowds that I wanted to fit into, right? A lot of my friends back then and stuff were smoking and so on and so forth. And so when I was sitting here in this like meditation, looking back at like the triggers of where it all started, I realized like, holy crap, the whole reason that I started has nothing to do with who I am today. Today I'm very clear on my identity. Today I'm in the rooms that I want to be in with the friends I want to be around. Today I'm a very healthy person. I work out every single day. Today I'm a very productive person. Today I built amazing things and made a positive impact in a lot of people's lives. So that dude that started smoking cigarettes 30 years ago, I understand why he did that. But what had happened is that identity of that dude from when I was 18 had leaked all the way into my identity at age 48. And what was fascinating is as soon as I really looked at that and realized that, I felt this sensation. It was the strangest thing. I just felt this sensation where it was like, oh, I can let that identity die now. I don't know why we felt like we needed to hold on to it this long, but that identity has nothing to do with who I am today. It had everything to do with who I was 30 years ago. And that piece of my identity wasn't serving me in the way it's not going to take, like it served me for a season. It can't serve me anymore moving forward. So I almost right now, I was explaining this to my wife yesterday, like I almost feel like I'm going through a grieving process as that piece of me dies. Like it's not a addiction type thing. It's not a physical, chemical type thing at all. It's literally like a sadness. Like I'm losing a dear friend that really played an important role in my life for a really long time. But what's cool about that, and I know it sounds crazy and woo-woo, and you guys probably think I'm crazy, and that's fine. What's cool about that is that the fact that I'm feeling that loss makes me believe that that part of me is now actually gone. Make sense? I've never actually felt that piece of my identity go away. And emotionally, I can feel it. So anyways, I know that's really weird. Got a little bit sidetracked. Got a little bit off topic. But hopefully that's helpful for you. What I'm trying to get you to understand, and that I am experiencing even right now myself, is that the old version of you is comfortable. The old version of you is familiar. The old version of you had purpose. There's a reason that you put those things in place. Like it was a part of you that you needed to survive. So when you try to change that old version of you, it fights back. And it whispers things. It whispers things in your ears like, hey, this isn't you. Or you've tried this before and it's not going to work, right? Or who do you really think that you are, that you think you can dream like this, or that you ultimately deserve this? Like there's a little voice, and the voice is there for a reason. I get it. But that voice is it's the old you trying to not die is what it is. There's no truth to it. It's just survival. The old you is trying to survive, and it has a right to do that. It has a right to try to survive. It's what it's been doing forever. It's how it's been protecting you for your whole life. But that voice is not truth. It is not truth. And here's the thing, is that if you let that voice, if you allow that voice, which most people do, most people will allow that voice to back them down. Most people will allow that voice to keep them from becoming best version of themselves. Like most people will back down at this point because it feels weird, it feels unnatural, it feels fake, right? Like the whole thing's fake. Oh, I'm just pretending like I'm going to work out every day. I'm just pretending like I'm going to become a millionaire. I'm just pretending like I'm going to write that book. I'm just pretending like I'm going to step on that stage. I'm just pretending like I'm going to change my diet. I'm just pretending like I'm going to completely change my lifestyle. I'm just pretending like I'm going to become best version of myself. I'm just pretending like I'm going to unlock my full potential. It's all just pretend. It's all fake, right? And that's what that little voice is going to tell you. But what if I told you that that feeling fake is actually proof that you're becoming something new? What if that feeling is really, it's not that who you are is fake, it's that who you are becoming is not who you were. And that's why it feels fake. Because see, dude, of course it feels unfamiliar. You've never been this new version of yourself before. Of course it's uncomfortable. Like resurrection is not comfortable. Transformation is not clean. Growth isn't this smooth thing. It's awkward. It's clunky. It's inconsistent. But every time you choose differently, every time you show up as the new version of yourself, even when it feels off, you're casting a vote for who you're becoming. And eventually those votes will stack up. And one day you will wake up and you're not trying anymore. You've ultimately become new. The new, ultimate, better version of yourself. There is no resurrection without death, my friends. Something has to die inside. There's a piece of you that can no longer live. It can no longer exist if you want to become the best version of you can possibly be. And it's hard, and I know a lot of people don't want to let it go. I get it. I feel you. But it's the only way. All of yous can't get into the room. There's too many of you. You can't fit through the door. Some of yous, some pieces of yous have got to be eliminated. That's just the facts. So listen, my name's Glenn. I'm your friend, and I absolutely stinking love you. I do. I'm going to head over to Clubhouse and probably get, who knows, punched in the face or something this morning. But I'm going to head over to Clubhouse. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. For those of you that are listening on the podcast, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I really, really do. Those of you that are watching on replay, this show would be nothing without you. Those of you that are always regularly over on Facebook, sharing this out, dropping in comments. I mean, you've helped shape me to who I am today, and I am so incredibly grateful. Those of you that are over on TikTok, starting to join us, and we're just building new community over there. Like, bear with us. Bear with me as I figure out all these things. But I'll be back tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. We'll do this all over again on #RiseAndGrind. Until then, have an amazing day. And, just keep laying them bricks.
Brick by brick, yeah, that's the way. 1 foot forward every single day. Just stacking up